Assalamualaikum and very good morning to all. Welcome to Feiran Technology Public Live Webinar. My name is Shahadatul Iskandar and I am going to be your host for today. I am the Senior Application Engineer at Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd. If you are new to Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd is the only licensed, approved and trusted Dassault systems vendor in the whole Malaysia. We are your one-stop center for all Dassault system solution suites. Not only that, right now we also offer you our expertise and services in other engineering fields such as VR, AR, MR, and XR. Okay, Forbes projected that in 2019, Forbes projected that in 2022, the XR market is expected to reach 209 billion US dollars. Can you imagine that? Okay, I keep mentioning VR, AR, MR, and XR, right? So what are they? So if you don't know yet what is VR, AR, MR, and XR is, no worries, we are going to cover just that in this webinar. Okay, today we are proudly presenting to you our webinar topic, the importance of extended reality implementation in industries, which will be presented to you by Mr. Syafiq. Okay, I will welcome Mr. Syafiq Fauzi to the floor. Hi, Syafiq.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, morning.
So, Mr. Syafiq Fauzi here is our application engineer in Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd, and he is our subject matter expert of the day. So, just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during this webinar, please feel free to type them or submit them in the comment area below. I will bring them up during our 10 minutes Q&A session towards the end of our webinar. Okay, so now without further ado, please welcome Mr. Syafiq Fauzi to the floor and present his topic of the webinar today. Over to you, Syafiq.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Syafiq Fauzi and I am the application engineer for Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd, and I have been involved in XR field since in 2018. Okay, so now I will try to present to you. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, first of all, can you see my screen right now? Okay, so today I will try to discuss, this morning I will try to discuss the importance of extended reality implementation in industries. Okay, maybe some of you have heard of this before, and maybe some of you still don't, but do not worry, we will try to discuss one by one regarding the definition of XR and what is the subset and how it may benefit the world industries and much more. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first of all, let's get into the definition of extended reality. Okay, extended reality (XR) is a term referring to all real and virtual combined environments and human-machine interactions generated by computer technology and wearables, where the X represent a variable for any current or future spatial computing technologies. Okay, in simple words, XR is kind of like an umbrella term. Okay, it's an umbrella term that which covers for augmented reality, AR, virtual reality, VR, and mixed reality, MR. Okay, maybe after this, if you when I try to mention regarding XR, it will cover all these three. Okay, which is AR, VR, and MR. So XR covers all these three technologies. Okay. The goals of extended reality, okay, is to superimpose an interactive experience over the real world, allowing for both the simulated reality and true reality. Okay, what is it all about? Do not worry, I will try to discuss further on. Okay, based on Murder Intelligence stated, XR market is valued at 26.05 billion USD in 2020 and is expected to reach as much as 436.7 billion in 2026. Okay, how how this can be done, okay, because how can the demand is very high from this in 6 years. Okay, so we will try to discuss what happened if we try to implement XR in our current industries. Okay. Okay, as you can see here, okay, one of the XR subset, which is augmented reality, okay, categorized as the one of the pillars in Industrial Revolution 1.0. As you can see at your left, okay, at the first quarter of the at the chart, you can see there's augmented reality here, right? Okay, so how it may impact, okay, because Industry 4.0 is a new phase in the industrial revolution that focus heavily on interconnectivity, automation, machine learning, and real-time data. Okay, so for augmented reality, it is categorized as the one of the contributing for the real-time data. Okay, these are the fields of industries that XR currently implemented in our current world. Okay, first of all, we can see here that automotive, aerospace, oil and gas, mechanical or industrial engineering, there's travel, tourism, or even we can implement for apparel and fashion, and there's many more. Okay, this is all the fields that already has implemented as in 2021. Okay. These are the benefits of applying XR in industries. Okay, so the first of all, we got the product view. Okay, the first one, it allows for potential customers to view and interact with your product or service before purchasing. This can enable them to make a better informed decisions. Okay, let's say if currently we are in the pandemic situation, right? So how XR benefit right now, it's allow for us as the customers still can purchase one product without going to physical, and then we can see how the size of the object and how the scale for the one-to-one, and this can save a lot of time. Okay, and then and also it is safe for our current situation right now. Okay, the next one is to enhance content, which is we can use a lot of types of data onto content. People can just point their device at a real life object to learn whatever kind of information is necessary instead of needing to search it for elsewhere. Okay, so let's say before this, when we try to go to one retail or supermarket, and sometimes we see this kind of product, right? Okay, maybe there's some kind of information that which is not stated at the next to the product, right? But if we try to use the XR, we can use try to create an application. Let's say if we point our device into that product, we can try to access as much as information into that one particular product. Okay. The next one, okay, this is quite vital and essential too for applying XR industries, which is we can use for training. Okay. So XR technology enable users to train employees more thoroughly than they can through documentations and meetings. This allows for trainees to learn job responsibilities by fully visualizing them instead of just reading about job duties. Okay, this can be seen for the training, especially if you are working on oil and gas side. Okay, sometimes it is hard and it's gonna take a long time if we, especially for the new workers, we have to learn for just theory at first, and then we have to go to on-site to get to know how the process all about. But with the XR, we can use it for training. We can just use the XR medium in order to for us to have the virtual training. Okay, virtual training like exactly how we do it on the on-site. Okay. The next one, moving on to the next one for the productivity, okay, which is for enables users to improve workflow and processes at their business. This is particularly true for manufacturing-based organizations. Factory line workers can spot potential dangers quicker along with accessing necessary resources. Okay. For productivity, okay, sometimes in our real world, okay, for our current world, right? Sometimes you understand how much does it take if you want to troubleshoot things, or troubleshoot components. Okay, with XR technology, we can help by just point our device into that specific components, and then if we integrating with IoT device, then we can see how the flow and how to detect which error and maybe and damage. Okay, and then we can use it to fix or troubleshoot the component much easier if compared to instead we manually inspect one by one for each components. Okay, the next one, to engage audience. Okay, because sometimes right now most of the people are not really focused on printed or television advertisement. Okay, with XR we can just applying into this advertisement, and officially we'll try to catch the eye of our target demographic. Okay, moving to the next one. Okay, other than all the points that have been mentioned before, this is all the other benefits of the XR industries. We can use it for styling, we can use it for remoting work, for inspection, for education, media, entertainment, marketing, and also we can try to apply in our daily lifestyle too. Okay, so how we are going to implement this XR in our daily life? Okay, we will try to discuss further on. Okay, these are all the XR development platform provided by Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd. Okay, until now we have three main solutions in order for XR development. Okay, so the first one, we have a product from Dassault System named 3D Experience. Okay, so what is 3D Experience? It is a collaborative environment platform that empowers people to create products and services using virtual experience. Okay, for 3D Experience, it's very powerful. It's not just for creating AR, VR. It have a lot more than that. Okay. The next one, we have solutions from LumiScarf. Okay, it's a real-time 3D solutions too. 3D, okay, sorry. For LumiScarf, it is one of the software which focuses on renders, okay, and renders and for styling. But until now, LumiScarf has expanded its solution into these two called Lumis 3D in order to develop AR, and also Excel VR for develop VR. Okay. So the next one, this is the third software that we are using, which is Unity. Okay, Unity is a real-time and cross-development platform. The usage of Unity mainly used for gaming and entertainment, but since Unity has getting stronger, right now Unity can be implemented for developing mobile application, web-based, and for all the XR, including for the AR development, VR, and also mixed reality. Okay, and also Unity also can be used for other consoles, such as for Xbox, PlayStation, and much more. Okay, so right now I will try to explain in simple terms of what is AR, VR, or MR. Okay, this is all these three comparison in one page. So the first one, let's get through for the first, which is augmented reality. Okay, in simple words, for augmented reality, we want to bring the virtual object. Okay, we want to bring the virtual object into our real world. Okay, as you can see on the first picture on your left, okay, on the first picture on your left, you can see this is application. If they try to scan an image, you can see this globe over here. Let's say if they try to scan, it will come up for the 3D version of the globe, okay, of our Earth. That's how augmented reality, we want to bring the virtual object into our physical world. Okay, on the next to the AR, we have the virtual reality. Okay, contrary to augmented reality, which is virtual reality, is we as human into the virtual environment. Okay, we as a human want to enter the virtual environment. As you can see here, at the first one, you can at the second part, you can see at the early clip as people wearing the VR device. Okay, and then what you can see from the other part is how it's the visual from the one people wearing the VR device. Okay, is we want to enter the virtual environment. Okay, to the next one, mixed reality. Okay, there's a mixed reality is quite new, which is it is current technology which to merge between AR and VR together. Okay, okay, how are we going to fuse between AR and VR technology? Okay, in simple words, what can I explain for mixed reality? As you can see, this is the visual of how people wearing the mixed reality device. As you can see, it's merging for AR, VR in terms as you can see, there's kind of holographic object, right? But still, we can see the fine line between for virtual object and also for the virtual environment. Okay. Okay, let's get started and we try to review each of these technologies. So the first one, let's get into for the augmented reality. Okay. So what is augmented reality? Let's see first for the term of word augment. Okay. So the augment, which is mean to add or enhance. Okay. The word augment is to add or enhance. Okay, in terms of augmented reality, okay, it is an enhanced version for our real physical world. Okay, which is we want to bring the virtual, okay, or 3D into our physical world. Okay, we want to bring the 3D object into our physical world. Okay, in augmented reality, it have three basic components. So the first one, in order to have augmented reality, we must have the AR camera. Okay. The next one is 3D object. Another one is tracker. Okay. This is all the basic components in order if we want to develop augmented reality applications. Okay, so this is the example of how augmented reality works. Okay, as you can see here, there's a people holding the iPad. Okay, in the iPad, they have an application for AR application. Not in mind that this application have to develop first. It's not some kind of automation. Okay, it's like we have to develop the application first. Okay, let's say we have done develop the application, right? So what can this application do? We can just point our device for the iPad into this kind of image. Okay, this kind of image. Let's say if it match for camera and the tracker, it will pop up for our 3D or virtual object. See, so this is even though we got nothing in 3D object here, but it can pop up into our devices such as for phones or tablet and iPad, so on. Okay. Okay. These are the three types of augmented reality. So the first one, we have marker-based. The second one, we have markerless. And third one, we have the location tracking. Okay. So I will try to discuss one by one for these types of augmented reality. So the first one, what is marker-based? Okay, so marker-based is a type of AR which allows us to scan physical images or objects, which is we call markers. Okay, if we want to scan any physical something, we can just call markers in order to render 3D models, videos, or scenes. Okay, for marker-based AR, we have three main tracking methods. So the first one, we have for image tracking method. The next one is object tracking method. And the third one is face recognition tracking method. Okay, so let's get through for the first one, image tracking method. So this is the example of image tracking method. This is just the same as I've mentioned before, okay, which is we have to scan the marker first. Okay, we scan markers. It can be for image or object. Let's say if the camera already pointed at the image, okay, and then it will pop up for our virtual object here. As you can see, there's the Eiffel Tower over here. Okay. Okay, for the marker base, for the marker base AR, that's already implemented in our current industries, which is this is from Hyundai Australia showroom. Okay, so what Hyundai Australia showroom do, they use augmented reality in order to promote their car, okay? In order for marketing. Let's say it have this Hyundai model over here. So what can this application do? We have to scan first into the markers, and then the application will bring us into come up features such as to change the color of the car in real time and how to change the rim, and then we have the smart features and also the safe features for this car. Okay, so let's get into the video. I will show you how for the Hyundai Australia showroom application works. Okay. Yes. So until now, it's really great, right, to have this kind of applications, right? Because there's a lot of features over here, especially the what attracts me for me the most is we can try to scan, okay, to try to scan our device into the engine components for Hyundai, and even it can come up for the some kind of informations for the engine components, and even it helps us to come up the information on how to maintain each for engine components, which is really great. Okay, so that's from the Hyundai Australia showroom. Okay, but there's more. Okay, we will try to focus after this. Okay, so the next one for the marker-based AR, we have the object tracking method. Okay, for the tracking method. As you can see, this is a GIF or playback, which is the people trying to hold this kind of specific object. Okay, so if the device pointed into this model, right? This object, and it will come out into this kind of virtual object. You can see there's all these animated. Okay, this is all can be seen in the device. Okay, so the first in real world for the marker based, especially for the object based, this has been implemented by Werner Electric Supply USA, which is they have to scan the object first. You can see the electrical components, and after they try to scan, it will come up such as you can see on how the data come out. There's information over there. Okay, you can see, and then there's the arrows we can see here, and to see how the process will flow in order to maintain or see the process flow for the electric supply, which is very great. Okay. The third one for marker-based AR, this is very quite popular, and then I believe that all of you already experienced this one, which is face recognition tracking method. Okay, or you can say as filter. Okay, actually, if you want to know, filter is also one of the AR, okay, AR technology in order to enhance content. So, which is we can try to for the face recognition, we can see how it tracks our face mesh, okay, how it scan our face mesh, and then we can turn into a lot of effects and visuals. You can see a lot of very interactive and funny, such as all these effects. Okay, it has a lot of 3D objects and much more. Okay, you can see this a lot in Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and much more. Okay, for the next one, for the markerless AR. Okay, before this we have covered for the marker base, and right now I will try to explain what is markerless AR. For what is markerless AR? Contrary from the marker base, for the markerless, it doesn't use any kind of objects or image in order to scan. Okay, it just used for environment in order to overlay virtual 3D content into the scene and hold it into a fixed point in space. Okay, so for the markerless AI tracking method, you have two kinds, which is surface tracking method and also middle air ground. Okay, this is the example of how markerless AR. Okay, before this, we have to scan. We have to scan image or objects, right? For markerless, it doesn't have to be scan anything. We just have to at least scan for the surface. Okay, in order we want to pop up for our 3D object. Okay, so this is uh, quite enhanced. Okay, quite enhanced version if compared to the marker base. Okay. Okay, for the markerless, AR, in our real world, we have the IKEA Place. Okay, if you want to know, IKEA Place already developed since in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So what IKEA Place can do is we can just point our device into our real home, okay, and then we can try to apply from the IKEA furniture, okay, IKEA furniture, and then we can try point into any kind of from our home, okay, and then we can try to play. This is one-to-one scale. If you want to know, this is exactly one-to-one scale. So this is can save a lot of time, and we doesn't have to measure, or maybe, and we need to worry whether it fit or not into our home, and maybe it fit into our house theme, okay, and so on. So we will try to see how the IKEA Place works. Okay, let's see the video from IKEA Place.
IKEA would like everyone to know about Place, our new augmented reality app. Built on Apple's new AR kit, you can easily place true-to-scale 3D models of IKEA furniture in your place. Scan, browse, select, move, and place. So that could mean less of this. And less of this. And probably more of this. We want to make it easier for people everywhere to imagine a better place. Share this place and this place. Try place in your place.
Yes. Okay, so that is for IKEA Place. It's really interactive, right? And it's really interesting. If you want to try, it actually already have an app store. You can try to download it if you want. Okay, it's really interactive application to use, and it saves a lot of time. And then it's very interesting. Okay, moving on to the next markerless AR application. Okay, if you want to know, for in automotive field, okay, for Porsche, it already implemented AR Visualiser app in their website. Okay, so what can this application do? We can see and try to view virtually for our for Porsche car, and you can see, and it has some kind of interesting features, such as simple configurations, such as for changing colors. You can see the animation for the door to open and close. It have how the lights, and it has specs, and even this is one-to-one scale that definitely you should try. Okay, it's available in the website. So how this application works, let's see into the next video for Porsche. Yes, that is from the Porsche part. It's very interesting, and to me, it's really great in order for creating for the marketing platform. Okay, in order to enhance the content and see even the people can try to experience virtually. Yeah, we can get into the interior. Okay, even though we doesn't have to go to showroom. It's really great and amazing. Okay, for we have discussed for the marker and markerless. And the next one for augmented reality, we have another one which is called location tracking. Okay, other than marker part, which is for scan for the image object or surface. Okay, for the location tracking, we use it based on our coordinates. Okay, GPS. We are required for accelerometer, digital compass, and other technologies in order to identify the device location and position with high accuracy. Okay, most modern devices have the required sensors, so this powerful technology is available for every mobile owner. Okay, so what we have here for example for location-based AR, we have the Google Map AR. Okay, so Google Map AR, what you can do, we can try to navigate. Okay, we can try to navigate just using this AR technology. You know, because sometimes if you are using for the current map, especially we as a pedestrians, right? When we try to wandering through the city, and sometimes it's there's the situation where there's a situation where sometimes we can loss of tracks, and we can just use this Google Map AR, and then it can help us to navigate easily. Okay, it's really great. The next one we have the application created studio from Japan and also US. Is a collaboration company called Pokemon Go. Okay, so Pokemon Go, how does it? If you want to know, Pokemon Go also is one of the application which use AR technology. Okay, so other than use image and also surface, okay, Pokemon Go use a location. Okay, Pokemon use location and coordinates. So each location of coordinates have different information and also have different characters. So you can see there's a very cute characters from Pokemon. Okay, you can see, and we can try to interact with the Pokemon. And right now Pokemon Go still going. Okay, if you can try to check, and then you can try to install if you want. Okay, so we have done discuss for the augmented reality. So let's go to the other one called virtual reality. Okay, so this is the definition of virtual reality. Okay, but in simple terms, virtual reality is we as a human want to enter the virtual environment. Okay, we as a human want to enter the virtual environment. Okay, so for the virtual reality, most of it have special electric equipment such as head-mounted display, okay, or we can just use as HMD, okay, for HMD term, with a screen inside or glove fitted with sensors or controllers. Okay, for virtual reality, this is the important elements for the VR. So the first one we must have the viewing system, have the tracking system, interactivity element, artistic inclination, and also sensory management system. Okay, so I will try to show how all these elements in a one figure. Okay, so for the VR steps, we have two different main kind, which is the first one, we have the head-mounted display VR, okay, or we can just call it as HMD. Okay, so what is HMD or head-mounted display? It is any kind of device. It is any kind of device which is we have to wear. Okay, we have to wear on our head. So that is what we call head-mounted display. Okay, the next one for VR type, we have the computer assisted virtual environment. Okay, or we call C.A.V.E. Okay.
Syafiq,
Yes, sir.
hate to interrupt you, but is your slide freeze on the virtual reality page?
Yeah.
or you're still in the virtual reality page?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Moving on.
thank you, Iskandar. Okay, for the C.A.V.E, okay, so computer assisted virtual environment, which is C.A.V.E, we will try to discuss after this. Okay, this is the basic VR setup for HMD. So the first one, we must have the device called HMD. Okay, we have to wear it. So it is for viewing system. Okay, for viewing system. The next one, we have controllers in order for any kind of interactivity elements. Okay. The third part, which is sensors for tracking system and sensory system. Okay, for tracking system and sensory system. And we have to have a computer or laptop, okay, to plug for in order we want to play the softwares. And the next one, we have to have kind of safe workstation. Okay, so for us, we can move around and very safe and make sure there's not any kind of harm objects or any kind of object that may interrupt for our VR experience. Okay, these are the example of VR devices. So the first one, we have the Oculus series. Okay, maybe some of you have tried this before. Oculus series. This includes Rift S, Oculus Rift S, Oculus Quest 2, Oculus Go. Okay, and not much more for the Oculus Fan. Okay, so the next one VR device we have from the HTC Vive. Okay, HTC Vive, and there's another called Valve Index. Okay, there's more. Okay, there's more, but this is the three top recommended. Okay, until in 2021. Okay, so in our current industry, there's automotive company named McLaren. Okay, so what McLaren do, it design and VR application in order to design the sports car, okay, and supercar design. Okay, it create an application for designers to create a modeling in order for its next release for the McLaren. Okay, we can see the video. Okay, we can see the video from McLaren and see how it works.
Happening at the same time as 3D. We can pop back and forth within the application to 2D to make a center line that's perfectly accurate, but then we can also pop back into 3D and sketch freely, turning that process, which was traditionally quite drawn out, into something much more concise.
As a designer, you are thinking, how does it translate? But now, because we've accelerated that process, you're sketching straight into 3D, so it's much quicker, far more efficient. It still takes the craftsmanship of the drawn line. You can capture that.
Okay, that's how McLaren Automotive all about. It's really ease the process. So designer doesn't have to start it and taking too much time for the 3D modeling software, and then it have to discuss and go through, have to discover flow. Okay, but with this VR, it saves a lot of time. Okay, save a lot of time, and it is even easier in order to create 3D modeling and to pop up for the essential information regarding for this particular supercar. Okay, so the next one, we have a company from USA called MECHATRAINING LLC. So what MECHATRAINING LLC do? MECHATRAINING mostly focuses on VR, which is to help engineers and technicians, okay, on the virtual part, especially for this electrical maintenance. Okay, this is the short clip regarding how it works. You can see there's a people. Okay, there's a in the bottom left. There's a people wearing the HMD, and then this is how the people sees, okay, from the HMD part, right? It's really great. Okay, it's really great because all these procedures are based on the real world procedures, and it's easy in order for the new workers or to learn and how to tackle this kind of problem if they have any kind of damage. Okay. Okay, the next one for VR, we have a company from Intel. Okay, if you want to know, Intel also has developed for VR application for the reimagining brain surgery. Okay, for Intel has created for a VR application in medical field. Okay, so what can VR do? this VR can try to help to create more transparency for patients and giving surgeons more ways to plan, prepare, and reduce risk. Okay, because before this, sometimes it's kind of we doesn't know how the surgeons want to explain, right? Sometimes we cannot understand the medical term or something. So, but with VR, so the patient can just use the VR HMD, and then the surgeons will try to explain how the plan of the brain surgery going to work, okay, and and also to reduce risk for this brain surgery. It's really great, this one. Okay, next one for VR, we have the Virtual Reality 360 Virtual Tour. Okay, this, if you want to know, you can just log on into your YouTube. Okay, there's a lot of 360 Virtual Tour, and there's also available in VR. Okay, if you have any kind of VR device. Okay, so what can Virtual Tour do? So Virtual Tour helps a lot, especially if you want to experience of one particular place. Okay, let's say in this we want to have from London view, right? So what can Virtual Tour do? It helps us a lot, especially if you want to prepare for maybe in future we have a plan for traveling, and then we want to reduce the risk of getting lost in especially when we travel, right? So we can use this virtual tour, okay, into our specific location, and we can try to get familiar with it. And then let's say if we have the actual opportunity to get into the other countries, and it's really familiar, right? And then it reduces the risk of we getting lost or any unnecessary event that we want to avoid. Okay, so another VR is for the computer assisted virtual environment. Okay, computer assisted virtual environment, or we just call it as C.A.V.E. Okay, so what is C.A.V.E do? C.A.V.E is used to visualize 3D data, transporting viewers directly into a system or machine environment. Okay, components, machines, or systems can be intuitively analyzed in their virtual environment. Okay, VR can be fused with projector screens. Okay, and it could be more than one. Okay, but just want to let you know that C.A.V.E VR is currently still in development process, and most of it C.A.V.E VR system only used for the research and internal purpose. But I believe in the future C.A.V.E will be more than just research and internal purpose. Okay, so this is the setup for the C.A.V.E work environment. Okay, if compared to the VR, okay, for the C.A.V.E is focuses a lot as on the projector screens. Okay, projector screen, and all these projector screen is not just projecting. It can have multiple sensors in order to track our body. Okay, as we try to move forward or move around in the screens, in the screen area, you can see it can be a change of scene. Okay, even though you can even interact, okay, with this C.A.V.E. Okay, this is the example of how C.A.V.E works. You can see this is kind of consists of 5 screens. Okay, consists of 4 screens over here. Okay, so these people can try to walk around in virtual. Okay, even though this is all the screens. Okay, but this is the application made from the university from France. Okay, university community. Okay, there's another C.A.V.E system which is from Florida International and Skyrail VR. Like I said, until now there's not much of current industries implementing C.A.V.E VR system right now, but in right now there's even companies starting to aware how this VR C.A.V.E is really have high potential of it. Okay, and it will continue to develop for the future. Okay, moving on to the final for the extended reality subset, which is called mixed reality. Okay, for like I said, what mixed reality? It is the merge between of AR, okay, AR and VR. Okay, so we want to bring together for the real world and digital elements. Okay, so for the mixed reality, we can interact and manipulate both physical and virtual items and environment using next generation sensing and imaging technologies. Okay, for this mixed reality, we can just use HMD, okay, and then for the interactivity, we doesn't need any kind of controllers. We can use our voice and also our hand gesture in order to interact, okay. So how does mixed reality device works? This is the example of mixed reality devices. We have this Microsoft HoloLens. Okay, you can see it is just a HMD. Okay, which have sensors on the top of this one. It's kind of like glasses. Okay, glasses, and it's quite light for the HoloLens. And if you want to do some kind of interaction, we can just use our voice, okay, because it uses voice recognition and also hand gesture technology. And also, this is the latest one, which is called Magic Leap. Okay, Magic Leap 1. This is quite new into the current industries. Okay, this is the example for this. Okay, so for the mixed reality, if you want to know, the giant company named AIRBUS already implemented mixed reality into their lifestyle, into their work, which is we want they create in order to accelerate and design the manufacture of aircraft while increasing the safety and functionality and ensuring professional development opportunities for employees. Okay, if you want to know, all this kind of virtual object is not hologram in real world, right? If you want to know, this is all holographic, can be only seen in the device. If this can be only seen if you're wearing the mixed reality device. Okay, let's get into the next video for the AIRBUS.
Airbus is a company designing, manufacturing and servicing commercial aircraft, helicopters, military aircraft, satellites and launch vehicles. Well, for the coming years, our challenges are huge. We have in the last 4 years delivered 10,000 aircraft, and we have to deliver twice that amount in the next 20 years. To face this challenge, we intend to make an intense use of mixed reality, and that's why we've started partnering with Microsoft. Mixed reality can help us to increase quality, safety and security. By having the right information in front of the eyes, the level of human error is significantly reduced. And in aerospace, an increased quality is an increased safety. I think the maturity of the services like Azure Remote Rendering of spatial anchors is key to give us the guarantee that we adequately use the HoloLens 2. I mean, it's key to have the right data flow. It's key to have the right rendering. It's key that the person using it finds himself or herself in the right environment with the right quality of data and therefore quality of visualization. So it's absolutely essential. The advantage of the HoloLens 2 in the design process is mostly in the validation phase, when the designer needs to know whether his or her design is really fit for industrialization. And this is hugely accelerated by 80%. On the manufacturing side, we use HoloLens 2 to enable the workers to achieve complex tasks or tasks that require an intense reading of documentation, while finally they're hands-free and they can access complex areas, they can handle heavy parts while having all the information they need right in front of their eyes. So we strongly believe that mixed reality can bring improvements up to 30% of some of our industrial tasks. So this device as such is very powerful, and thanks to Azure mixed reality services, we are getting the power of it.
Yeah, this is from AIRBUS company. Okay. Okay, moving on to the next one. Another example of mixed reality is from Bentley Systems. Okay. So what Bentley System do is they created application named Synchro. Okay, Synchro is a digital construction software that enables viewing complex construction projects in mixed reality. Okay, so how does it work? Let's go into another video for this Bentley Systems.
In 1420, Brunelleschi, Renaissance architect and master builder, he invented a new way of seeing reality, and that's the illusion of perspective. That perspective representation is now able to be part of our physical reality.
We are out here today at a construction site, which is probably one of the most iconic buildings that's being built in the Netherlands. It's a depot for a museum here in the city of Rotterdam. The real need for the digital transformation in our industry is really about avoiding rework at our construction site.
Bentley's working with the HoloLens to bring digital models and merge those with physical reality. The digital model is now becoming part of our physical reality. That's the real innovation.
The 2D screen can't convey a problem that's so complicated. You add augmented reality to that, and you can understand what's really happening.
We can see, hey, we're behind, so we can flag the issue and look into the problem and adapt the schedule to get back on track.
So that's where the efficiency comes in.
Okay, so that is from Bentley System. Okay, they want to create a very complex construction. So despite they have to go through a lot of discussions for the manually, they can use this visuality in order to visualize how the complex construction projects. Okay. Okay, for the final example for the mixed reality is from PACCAR Inc. from USA. So this is real. Okay, this is real, which is the implementing HoloLens for the workers in order to complete one task. Okay, as you can see, if they are wearing HoloLens, there's a lot of virtual object going here. Especially you can see all this workflow. Okay, and there's a kind of information and video, and also we can try to even create for the meetings or the remote team work. Okay, so this can reduce a lot of time, okay, in order to complete, and it's really great, especially workers can improve its productivity. Okay, yeah, this is from PACCAR in USA. Okay, so for the summary, okay, summary of XR. Okay, so the extended reality is a term referring to all the real and virtual combined environment and human-machine interaction generated by computer technology and wearables, where the X represents a variable for any current or future spatial computing technologies. Okay, until now, XR covers AR, augmented reality, VR, virtual reality, and also mixed reality. Okay, but I believe that there's more kind of reality coming in, okay, in order to enter for this XR. Okay, XR implementation contributes a huge impact to the industries worldwide as it increases a better productivity, immersive and interactive experiences in real time. Okay, for the XR is currently in rapid development and it is expected to reach its true potential starting from 2026. Okay, I think that is all from me. Thank you very much, everyone. So I will get back to Iskandar.
Thank you, Syafiq, for that wonderful presentation just now. Whenever we talk about extended reality or virtual reality, right, we tend to imagine ourselves living in Star Wars environment because we imagine all the holograms, people standing in front of us, or Minority Report movie or whatever Hollywood movies that are presenting the holograms method in their movies. So that's what our expectation is regarding this extended reality. But in reality, we haven't reached that potential, that full potential yet, right, Syafiq?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because
that's what we mean by stating that XR is an umbrella term for any extended reality related topics. Right now we have only AR, VR, and MR. So maybe in future we have a specific division or categorization for holograms, right? Maybe
yeah,
that's what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
it's true. Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so I'm going to give a 1 minute break to all of us, including the audience, to take a short break, and maybe they want to rethink what we have presented here in our webinar, and submit their questions in our comment area below. So we are going to take that 1 minute breaks by this short 1 minute video. Okay, Shafiq, and when this video ends, we're going to enter directly into the Q&A session of the webinar. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So this is the 1 minute video break. Okay, welcome back to our Q&A session. I see a lot of questions in our comment area. Let's try to answer let's try to answer most of them during this short Q&A session period. So I'm going to call back Shafiq Fauzi to our floor.
Yeah.
Hi, Shafiq.
I
Okay. Okay, we have a lot of questions, Shafiq. Let's start with the first question from Dana Litika. I'm going to present the question here in our screen. Can you see it? Okay. So the question is regarding to the actual application of XR. How can XR help industries bounce after this COVID-19 pandemics? Any thoughts on that?
Okay, thank you, Delatika, for your question. It's a very great question. I appreciate it so much. Okay, and how can XR help industries bounce after pandemics? Okay, if you want to know, even though in this pandemics, most of the companies starting aware on conducting any kind of virtual session, okay, especially, and there's a lot of even companies starting to implement it for the XR, especially for the augmented reality and XR training. So I really believe that XR could be help a lot after this, especially even though after pandemic, because first of all, with the presence of XR, right, it can reduce a lot of time, okay, and it can have a lot to increase the productivity when we are using XR. And let's say I'm taking one situation, okay, regarding if you want to buy a car, okay, before this, if you want to buy a car, right, if you want to buy a car, we have to, doing a lot of research, and then we have to go through the physical showroom, and then we have to talk to the salesman or something. But with XR, it can help a lot with just use our device, okay, to seek for informations, and even though we can try to see the details of the one car, whether for the interior and exterior. And it's not just that, it can help a lot of for the virtual education training and much more. So I believe XR helps a lot in industries in our future, even though after pandemics.
Yeah, I agree. My take on this question, Analytica, is by having this COVID-19 pandemic is actually like a blessing in disguise, because we are forced to delve into extended reality earlier on than we expected. So as you see, I have put some scrolling words down there just now. Even a zoo in Melaka Zoo, is venturing into virtual tour. So can you expect a zoo is venturing into this virtual reality aspect of things? So that's what we are going into right now, and we are forced to get into this right now. We have
Okay, so
no other choice.
mungkin maybe there's a future where is any company could take on the for the virtual tour, especially for the zoo. Maybe we can have instead of just watching videos, we can have the VR environment, and it could be like really much interesting as it's just have the same experience as we go to the real zoo, right?
Yep. Okay. So the next question is, I think, related to another question asked by another audience here. I will show both. Okay, this is the first one. What will be
Okay.
the first simple steps to embark on XR? And I will flash another question quite similar to this. Let me scroll down a little bit. Okay, this one from Aviation Collector. What would the generic process in order to embark into mixed reality environment in terms of the applications and hardware? Are there any special packages? I think these two questions are quite related, right, Syafiq?
Yes,
So
yes,
maybe
it's true,
we
it's
can
true.
answer these questions at the same time.
Okay, so how are we going to embark for the XR, right? Especially right now, there's a lot of tools. Okay, if you want a lot of tools and softwares, if you want to try to explore, if you want to discover as a starter, if you want to discover on free software, you can try to check on Unity. Okay, Unity, there's a lot. Unity is a free development software. Okay, and there's a lot of Unity community over there. There's a lot of tutorials over there, and then there's a lot of simple videos. Okay, and even though in last year we Feiran Technology also has provided for the training specialized on AR, okay, and how to develop AR. Maybe in future, who knows? Probably Feiran could provide more than AR training. Could be for the visual reality, also mixed reality. Okay, for the
Syafiq, how many participants have we trained in AR, VR, or MR over the years?
Okay, I do not. Okay, I just take for the last year, right? Okay, because I'm actively back into the AR training in the last year.
Maybe a
Last year,
ballpark figure.
yeah. Usually we have started training for AR since 2018, and roughly average around like 600 people over in a year. So maybe around like 3,000 to 4,000 people that we have trained over these past years from 2018. Okay, for the process in order to embark into mixed reality environment in terms of the applications and also hardware. Okay, so for the general process for the application, there's a one special package in Unity named Mixed Reality Toolkit. Okay, Mixed Reality Toolkit. It is really easy to use. We can just to create the project in Unity and just use this application name Mixed Reality Toolkit. Okay, so Mixed Reality Toolkit is just kind of a package. We already include the basic setup for Mixed Reality. You can just put the 3D objects into the project, and then you can just view in just like very easily. Okay, for the hardware, most of it, like I said, for the most top hardware for mixed reality is called Microsoft HoloLens 2. Okay, Microsoft HoloLens 2, and also for the Magic Leap 1. Okay, you can try to check the internet in order if you want to purchase for this one. So yeah, that's my take on your question. By the way, thank you so much, Mr. Aviation. I really appreciate your question.
Okay, so the next one is also related to mixed reality and the hardware. Most importantly, it talks about the actual concern of the people, the cost, right? So which is more expensive, C.A.V.E or MR? And between these two, which one gives the best immersive experience? Go on, Syafiq.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Mr. Dr. Hakim. I really appreciate your question. I'm really happy to have this question, which is more expensive, C.A.V.E or mixed reality. If you want to know, if you are looking for small projects, I would recommend for you to use mixed reality. Okay, mixed reality, because mixed reality for one device, it is estimated around like 3 to 4 thousand for USD. Okay, for mixed reality for one device, but for C.A.V.E it have a lot more than that. Okay, it is very expensive because you have to set up for all the projector screens, and you have to set up for the VR system or the supports. So I would recommend, if you want to start small, it's better with mixed reality. But if your company is going further and then you want to create more of interaction, especially to attract visitors and investors, you can try for C.A.V.E, right? And between this technology, which one gives the best immersive experience? Okay, for the C.A.V.E, okay, what can we get experience for the C.A.V.E? Okay, for the C.A.V.E, what is the best thing about C.A.V.E is some of the C.A.V.E doesn't have to require any kind of HMD or head-mounted display. Just imagine if we just enter into the projection screen, okay, without wearing any. So this might reduce of the term of motion sickness. Okay, because if you want to know, the motion sickness comes if you're wearing for one device for too long, and sometimes what can cause to motion sickness is we might experience some kind of dizzy. Okay, but with the C.A.V.E we doesn't have any kind of weight on our head. Okay, and then we can just into and experience the same thing as the VR, but it's just other, instead of viewing system in our eyes, it is different. We can just experience it into the projector screens. Okay, but for mixed reality, because sometimes, but the best thing about mixed reality is you want to experience for the holographic part, right? Like Star Wars or something like Iskandar said before. So and sometimes mixed reality is also important if we want to project our 3D model into our physical side. Okay, so I think that's the difference if you want to use for the C.A.V.E or also for the mixed reality. Okay.
Okay, let me try to summarize the points. So in order to determine which one is the best immersive experience, it really depends on the intended application of the users or the consumers. Because in such case of C.A.V.E, okay, for C.A.V.E, you need to really have a very big place to set up. But for MR, it's just enough with the head-mounted display or the HoloLens, right, Syafiq? And it's less space than the C.A.V.E. So if you want to be mobile in marketing your product or to showcase your product everywhere, so C.A.V.E maybe not that suitable for you. And as much as immersive experience is concerned, it really depends on the hardware and the program that you develop for the application. So if you develop a very good program that really have high polygons in the design, in the 3D model, then you can be immersive as you want, as immersive as you want. Okay, the next question is coming from Safwan Kamson in Malaysia. Is there any mixed reality devices like Microsoft HoloLens that we can experience?
Yeah, but I want to let you know that in Malaysia it is quite limited if you want to purchase all these devices. I think most of it you have to purchase it from the official websites for the Microsoft. Okay, also, but other than Microsoft HoloLens, there's a new device such as Magic Leap 1. Okay, if you would like to try, I think probably they're much cheaper if compared to HoloLens, because Microsoft HoloLens focuses more on industrial use if compared to personal or small business use. Yeah.
Okay. So for Mr. Safwan, in Feiran, we also have this Microsoft HoloLens hardware available to us because we are actively developing our extended reality contents, and we also participated in many showcases around Malaysia. So if you're interested, drop down. Sorry, my video feed got disconnected just for a while. If you're interested more in experiencing this Microsoft HoloLens, maybe you can drop by into our office, maybe after this COVID-19 pandemic is over, or we have active showcases later on. We can invite you over, so just submit your details in our marketing link in our banner, right? Syafiq, we have included our marketing link.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe
By the
you
way, thank
can
you,
drop down
Safwan.
your user details.
Okay, thank you, Safwan.
And then the next question here is coming from Mr. Salahuddin Noor. Okay, in movie industry, I think this is more related to CGI. I think are they using this kind of technology to change into desired background from the green screen? This is not my expertise. So back to you, Syafiq. I'm not sure how to do that.
It depends. It depends on how the company want to experiment with their filming, because I believe until now, most of it just use CGI in order to design background from the green screen. But I think technology has already changed, because that's not because before this we usually just use for the green screen, right? But now I think they already improved into the LED screen. Okay, LED screen in order to have this change background. But I cannot say that 100% that right now VR for the augmented reality is implemented for the movie industry. And I think most of it still use CGI. Yeah.
Yep. So as I said earlier, we in Feiran Technology Sdn Bhd is not really participating into movie industries or any filming industry related companies. So we have no prior experience to really address this question. But it is interesting because as Shafiq shared in the presentation just now, the C.A.V.E environment maybe looks like the environment used in filming industry. I don't know. Because we are standing in the room, and then we can interact with the virtual element by sensoring devices in the screens, right?
Yeah, it's true. Maybe someday we can turn the C.A.V.E into the green screen. Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? Like I said, XR is an umbrella to all extended reality related terms. So right now we only have 3 terms, right? AR, VR, and MR. So who knows in future what will. Okay, I think I have covered most of the questions in our comment area. Okay, as usual, thank you so much, Syafiq, for the presentation and very nice information shared in this webinar. So I think we started with zero knowledge of what is AR, VR, and MR is, and what is XR really meant. So by the end of this webinar, I hope that all the audience and ourselves included, we have been introduced to what is VR, AR, and MR really meant, and what the future holds for us. So thank you very much, Syafiq, for the content.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for attending to our webinar. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Any other points to add before we wrap up?
I think that's not much from me. Let's just hope that we are going towards a more special technologies, and we can try to fuse all these XR with our daily lifestyle. And who knows, this is the future that we have dreamed since our young, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Syafiq.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, everyone, that's the end of our webinar. Before we wrap up, please feel free to browse through the videos in this YouTube channel. We have a lot more informational content in this YouTube channel. And if you view this webinar recording after the live session ended, So feel free to drop by any comments or any questions in the comment section. So whenever we have a new comment or new question, we are going to revisit that question and try to answer that question in the comment area. So no worries, you can still rewatch this webinar session in this YouTube channel. It will be available almost immediately, I think. And you can see the comments, the live chat comments, maybe after 24 hours of the recording ended. Okay. With that, I thank you so much to all of you attending this webinar, this public live webinar, and hope to see you again in the next session in future. Okay. Thank you so much.